Hey everybody, it's Jaws. I'm going to make another video here. This one is going to be focused on current submission. I actually have something coming in the mail that I will add to this a little later. This is a mix between CGC and, let's focus somewhere in here. This is going to be a focus between CGC and PSA. Ignore my dog scratching in the background. Okay. Got a stack that I've been kind of building up. First one, Jungle, Kangaskhan. Ignore, I'm using some of my crappier sleeves to send these in. Actually, I think I'm going to change this one out. I don't like that. But I don't use the best sleeves for sending in because they'll just get tossed. But these sleeves are the best that I like. I think, what are they called? The KMC Perfect Fit? Something like that. Anyway, I know a lot of people use them. This is the minor miscut. This one has an alignment dot on the bottom right. Pretty clean. It got a PSA 6, which I don't really feel did it justice. And again, just ignore this crappy sleeve. But yeah, this one, I mean, it should get at least a 7, I think. I mean, I can't imagine it getting worse than that. In fact, I'm going to leave this out because I don't like that sleeve. This was also a PSA 6. This was a Kabuto. And on the PSA label, it wasn't even wasn't even labeled miscut or OC, nothing. And so this is another minor miscut. It's got another alignment dot on the bottom right. So Fossil Kabuto. Sensation, steam. I'm expecting maybe a 7 on that, but honestly I just want the error label. Some people care about the error label, some don't. The reason I do is because if I'm gonna, well, I like it because if I'm gonna sell something, it's kind of spoon feeding it to people who are trying to look for the error, because I was a noob with errors, and I started looking for certain things, characteristics, what makes an error, different things. And I got better at it, but, for other people, sometimes the error label helps, and they're investing or stonking or whatever. But this I got from a guy, Misprint Jeff, he's a good guy. This and this Dark Charizard have an ink line on the back. He had a few of these, but he was nice enough to send me the Primate, the first edition Primate as well. This card should do pretty well. I'm not really worried about the grade on this one. I just wanted these two to be together in sequential certs because that would be kind of cool. That is going to stay over here. I'll put them in sleeves later. And this dark, well, I'll put them back in their sleeves later. This Dark Charizard, now this one's pretty clean. The only thing that I'm worried about, now this one I do care about the grade. It was really clean. However, that spot up there, kind of worried about. I tried cleaning it, and as you can see, there's a couple little things here and there. Those won't come off with light cleaning, but it's okay. I mean, if it gets a 5, it gets a 5 because of that. But it'll get the ink error label, and that's cool. I have a Charizard collection going, which you'll see in the PSA section of the submission. And so I've got something like 47 Charizards from WotC, or 46. I'm trying to get every language, every variant. So the dark set from Rocket is probably the biggest print run because it has English, Italian, German, French, Japanese, and it has, in all the languages besides Japanese, it has unlimited first edition of holo, non-holo for every single one. So there's a lot of variants in that one. That's a hard set to complete, but I'm making a good dent in that. This Lugia has strong insufficient ink, and I'm going to turn off the lights on this one. Now, what makes the insufficient ink, and this one's pretty cooked, but what makes the insufficient ink get the label, and this one's a gamble because CGC is pretty stingy from what I've learned with insufficient ink. And I know that colorless is very subject to this, but this card And this camera isn't, it's not doing, nothing does it justice. But when you, I mean, this card doesn't even need dark light or special lighting conditions to see it in person. This is just how it is. It's super, super vibrant, and the holo bleeds through the whole thing. And again, this isn't doing it justice. When you see it in hand, I'm confident this will get the error label. And what's cool about it, besides the fact that you can't tell in this video, there's a swirl here, 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 and here. So quad swirl through the bleed. But anyway, that's it's pretty cooked. The card is rough. But even if it gets a 4, if it gets the insufficient ink, I'll be really happy. And if it doesn't, I'll still have it slabbed to preserve it. But I mean, the whole card just bleeds. It's really, really hard to tell on camera. But trust me when I say. And then this one was a recent pickup. This, we're trying to figure out if this is a insufficient ink error or additional ink error. At first glance, it almost looks like ink splatters, but under magnification, these are kind of like, it has a sheen to it, which you can only see. So if you're looking at it from the top, it kind of looks like maybe black ink. And if you look at it in different light angles, it has a little bit of a sheen. It's throughout the whole card. Don't know, I'm going to put this on the computer screen and see how well this is picking it all up. I mean, I'm only looking at it through the back of the camera. But this card's actually really clean too, and I really like this one. Under magnification, this one's crazy. This will definitely get some error. I just don't know what. Good eBay find. This one I've had in my binder for a long time, and I decided, you know, it's probably time to send it in. It's too clean. Sometimes when there's a card that's extremely clean, even if it has no monetary value, I still debate sending it in because this one has a printer hickey on the bottom. But this card is the glossy bilingual executor, and it's so clean. I'm like, you know what? This has a strong 9, maybe 9.5, maybe 10, but I don't know. I don't trust anything to get a 10 because it's honestly just so difficult for me. But yeah, this card was insanely clean. But yeah. Could you tell? I've only said it 100 times, but the printer hickey is kind of cool by the illustrator. That one I gotta be careful with. Put that down. This one I got from a Facebook group. A couple of the error collector buddies that were lucky enough to pick these up too. I think these are really slept on. The misaligned pre-release stamp Ivysaur. There was I think there were 40 some cards that the guy had. Bought them from a collection. What interestingly enough was somewhat local to me. I think he was in Snohomish, and he had a bunch of these, and these were really clean. I didn't get. I was too late. I had bookmarked it and forgotten about it, and then I missed out. And apparently, he didn't sell a good handful of them, and I was lucky enough to pick up one of the scraps, if you will. So I did not get to choose what orientation the stamp was in, but it's still pretty crazy, and I love misaligned stamps, so happy to send that in. And now here's the PSA stuff. So like I said, German, Italian, French, English. So in English, I now have the first edition non-holo Dark Charizard. I have a couple childhood Charizards from the Rocket set. So these were to help complete that. So we've got the Dunkles Glurak, Dunkles Glurak. I can't speak German. But yeah, so this one's pretty clean. I don't expect this one to do poorly. So go with PSA. Get out of here, dumb print. Now these. I bought this one, I bought the Unlimited Holo at a local card shop. I was on my way to go visit my mom, and I was like, well, I better stop and get some Pokemon cards, because that's what you do. And this one was awesome. I love this Holo. This one is weird, because in certain lighting, this Holo really, really pops. More so than others, the Cosmos Holo is my favorite. But this one's pretty clean. I don't really know. I'm expecting maybe a 7. Ignore the thumb, but the thumb steam. But yeah, this one, I'm expecting maybe a 7 out of it. I don't see any dings or dents on this one. This one, 6 at the very worst. 7 is what my prediction is. I have to see that one. This one is a bummer. I've learned to kind of not crack BGS sleeves, or BGS cards below, well, a 7 or below, and 7s are dicey. I don't really care because I got this card at a decent deal. I think I paid maybe 220 bucks for it and cracked the slab, but I like this. I call that Orion's Belt. I mean, for face value, it's nice, but what really tripped me up is this was a gamble. Right here, it had some sticky crap on it, and I wiped it away, and unfortunately, it had already worn on the card, and so when I wiped it away, it just turned into, it was already down to the card stock. So, this one's probably destined to be a 5 or a 6. And I think there's a little mark down there by the trademark logo. No, that was just the camera. But I've cleaned it, and that's as good as it's going to get. So, but it's fine. I needed it for the collection. They're really tough to find in decent grades for whatever reason. Italian and French are even harder to find in decent condition, so I don't know. Those are going to go to, the Dark Charizards are going to go to PSA, except this one. And then I will jump back in here in a bit when I get the other card that's coming today in the mail and a couple other cards. Alright, okay, this was the second part in the mail. You can see here this was, well, you can kind of tell what it will be. I like that he drew the Ditto. This is a fossil Ditto, but it's not just any fossil Ditto. It is an Edge of the Sheet Error fossil Ditto. Fosso? Sorry. So this is the edge of the sheet. Hello, buddy. My dog is coming to inspect. It's his job. That's what he likes to do. So that has a physical lip on the edge. This happens on the edge of the sheet. It may have been shifted a little bit. Again, Misprint Jeff does a great write-up on this. Some have a little bit of yellow where the roller kind of like it skipped over this edge. This one is a really clean edge. It's in good shape. And if I am botching that description, you can tell me, because I'm still learning about it. But when it popped up on Facebook Marketplace, I had to grab it. A friend of mine picked one up recently, a Kabutops first edition, and I thought it was super cool. So, got this little guy. So that's going in the submission as well. Let's check under magnification. Let's see if this can even pick up on this thing. There we go. That's pretty cool. It's really clean too, for what it is. But the chances of getting one of these on an unlimited fossils sheet is 1 chance to get Ditto. So that's incredibly rare. I really love it. And that will be added to the grading pile. And that's, I got some more, but for now, that is going to be added. Alright, thanks for watching.